Hello, Bill McLean. This is Tim Norton. I thought I would give you another video because I'm having such fun fooling around with making videos. It's maybe becoming a hobby of mine. So you're my guinea pig. Sorry, buddy. Uh, but this video is going to be about how to use the menu, and the reason why I think this is a good thing to point out is because the menu is very cumbersome in the sense that in order to get to your inventory, let's say you want to change from the two-handed sword to a two-handed to a bow, which also uses two hands. Should be very simple, but what it is tab, so here's tab, and then right, and then click on weapons, and then unclick on the two-handed sword and click on the bow. It's a big deal. But there's a much simpler way to do it, and that's why I'm showing you this video. So this naked fella here I called him Ratman because he is the ugliest character I have ever made. I mean, he is never going to get laid unless he pays for it. I mean, oh my god, not only that, he is the smallest and skinniest character I have ever made. He looks very tiny in his armor. So I am going to call up the menu, and I am going to click on apparel, and I'm going to give him his stuff. I think he has, believe it or not, I've made him, this is my heavy armor wearing sword and shield guy. So we'll give him the best armor I have, which is some Nordic gauntlets. I'm going to equip the shield. I'm going to equip iron boots, and I think I have banded. Yeah, banded iron armor. And I have boots. No, those are high, but there's the boots. So, and then here's the iron helmet. And just see, he normally I make a big burly guy for any kind of warrior type, and the skinny ones I leave for maybe for sneaky types, but it doesn't make any difference to the game, so I said, what the hell. So I'm also going to, I have an enchanted weapon here somewhere. Yeah, there's an ancient, I enchanted this because I found an item. I found this item, for example, but I had another item that had burning damage on it, and I went to the enchanter and I just enchanted it. And then I used the one filled soul gem I had, petty soul gem, and I filled this, made it 10 points of burning damage. So anyway, there he is. So as you can see now, these are the things that are equipped. This is the weapon is equipped, and then under apparel, the steel shield is equipped, and so on and so forth. So if I wanted to switch to a bow, I have to tap over here, click on weapons, click on, I'll say, this burning bow, right? And I don't know, it's not awful, but I mean, it's a little bit disruptive, and there's a better way. So here's the better way. Go to weapons. I'm going to click back on the sword. What I'm going to do is I'm going to favorite. I'm going to use the favorites menu. I'm sure you've already found the favorites menu, but I'm going to review anyway. So here you can see it's selected, but I'm going to press the F key, and now it is also favorited. And you can see that here. There's the little dot. Now it's unfavorited. Now it's favorited. Now it's favorited. Now it's unfavorited. Right? Make sense? So that's how you do it. I am also going to favorite the Bow of Burning because that's what I'm going to want to handily switch to. Okay. So now that those two are favorited, I call up the favorites menu, and what I'm going to do is, I have a number of things in the favorites menu, but here's the burning bow. I'm going to bind this to 2 because 2 is really handy for my middle finger that's resting on W all the time. So I'm going to say there's the bow of burning. So now you can see I'm sword and shield, and I press 2. Super easy. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. And then here is the kicker. Here's the bonus part. If I press 2 again, it acts as a toggle, and I go back to the sword and shield. So you're running down, you've beaten people, and then you go, oh my god, I need to get the bow up because that one's a long way away. You just press that, and it comes right back up again. Then someone attacks you from behind. You press 2 again. This is all I'm doing, just pressing 2 over and over, like that. So you have to manually set this up by going into the menu and setting it up. Once you've got it set up and you have two, say, just for the sake of argument, bound to the bow, you can toggle back and forth. Super easy. But wait, there's more. So prior to starting to talk to you, under the Q for Courtesan, here's the favorites menu, I put the spells Flame and Healing, which you get by default, and I bound them to 3 and 4. So watch what happens if I have a sword and shield up, and I press, say, 4 for healing. That comes into my left hand. I press the left key, well, I guess the right key on the mouse, and I'm suddenly using it. And I have bound the shield, I think, or maybe if not, I will. I have not bound the shield. I'm going to bound the shield to, where's the shield? Here's the shield. So I'm going to favorite this, like so. And I'm going to go to the Q key. I'm going to find the shield, and I'm going to bind it to number 1. Okay, so here I am. Here's my default position. And then I press 2 for the bow. It toggles back and forth. And then if I press something that is not a two-handed weapon, like just the healing spell, it'll just come up in the left hand and I can use it. And then because I have the shield bound as number 1, so I can just shield, flames, healing, or anything else I had. There are 8 keys you can use. So I'm going to review that because it sounded confusing even to me. So once you've got your menu set up and favorited, then you call up the favorite menu and you apply a number to them. If you have a two-handed weapon, the key that you bind it to will toggle back and forth. So you just set this up manually here, sword in one hand, shield in the other, and then you press whatever you bound the key to, in this case 2, to your other two-handed weapon, and it will toggle back and forth between a two-handed weapon and then something in each hand. So if I had this in my left hand, for example, which is here's the healing spell, and then I press 2 to toggle up the bow, when I toggle back, it goes back to the healing. If I have a shield in my left hand, I toggle to the bow, and then I toggle back to what it was before. Is that making sense? So if you have the 4 up, there's the healing spell. I'm done with that. I just press 1 to get back to the shield. So you can basically just use the number of keys to toggle back and forth between all of the things that you normally use. The key is that you have to have already, if you're going to use hands with different weapons, put the weapon you prefer in your right hand and the shield in your left, and then bind a key to the two-handed weapon of choice, whether it's a bow or a two-handed weapon or whatever, and then you will toggle back and forth to that other two-handed weapon. If you leave it up and you're not going to be equipping a two-handed weapon, when you click on a spell, 4, 3, 2, 4 or 3 or 1, or any other number you bound it to, then you can just change what's in your left hand. It's only when the difference is only when you want to switch to a two-handed weapon, then it becomes a toggle. So this is just me pressing 2 over and over again. So here's fire, I press 2, it comes back to what it was before, it toggles. I press 1 to get back to the shield. I hope that makes sense. I wanted it to make sense because it took me a long time to figure out, and it's weird, but it works. Once you figure it out and get it straight in your head, which is not obvious and they don't teach you to do it at all, but once you do that, then you're not having to go here and then find the thing you want, and oh wait, my left hand I need the magic spell, so I got to go here to destruction and then click flames in the left hand. Oh, but I clicked it in the right hand and blah, 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 blah. And it just goes on and on. Instead, you can just use the keys to switch back and forth. Much easier. Okay. I hope that helped. And I'm going to do a thing about enchanting. Kind of how to level enchanting and kind of the 2 quests that are really, really good for enchanting in case you want to be an enchanter. And if you don't get too impatient or you don't hate the videos, then I'll do something about blacksmithing I'm no means an expert in any of these, but I know better than nothing. If you know, there are certain ways. There's no good way to blacksmith, but there are some ways that are better than others. Okay, buddy. I hope you and Anita are well, and I will see you this Saturday. Okay, man. Take care. So long.